Number one mistake, one of the mistakes I made was zero focus. I started several different businesses and none of them went anywhere. I was expecting things to take off. I had zero focus at the very beginning, and what I realized was that when you don't have any focus, like again, I just liked having serial entrepreneur in my Instagram handle. That's all I cared about, right? I was more attached to what that looked like than the actual result of being an entrepreneur, right? So I started all these different companies and I didn't have one singular focus. Because if you want to be successful, my one takeaway from this would be focus on one thing for a decade minimum. And I promise it would be pretty hard for you to not become somewhat successful at that one thing. If you just had one thing to focus on, like if it was just playing guitar, if it was just playing tennis, if it was just again, if it was just one business, one idea, one thing, go all in for 10 years. It's much harder to fail at that than it is trying to, work. I started 4 or 5 or 6 different companies all at the same time. Obviously, all of them went nowhere. But when I focused on real estate and I said, there was no back out, right? There was no back door there was no way that I could do anything else. It was either literally like real estate worked or I died trying, right? When I made that final commitment to real estate, within 3 years, I was doing 100 grand a month. I'm telling you, focus is everything. Number 2 is that I had too short of a mindset. So too short term of a mindset. And the big mistake here was that with those businesses, the reason why I kept starting new ones was because I would try something. I would try. Have any one of you guys, and I've said this 1,000 times in my life, have any of you said, I'm going to give it a try, I'm going to give it my best shot, I'm going to try this out and see how it goes? The problem with that languaging is that it gives you an out, right? Oh, well, I tried. Try is not a word in my vocabulary anymore. Okay, there is no try. There is either do or do not, right? Do or do not do, right? That's it. You can't try to be pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not pregnant, right? That period, end of story. There's only 2 options here. The languaging is very important, and I had too short term of a mindset. When I had this mindset of saying I'm gonna give it a try for the next couple months, and then it wouldn't work out, I'd try something new, and then it wouldn't work out, and I'd see the grass is greener over there, and I go try something new, and this would happen over and over and over and over again. And it wasn't until I said, I don't give a shit about the grass is greener over there. I'm going to make this work, right? And that's it. And I would say my back is against the wall. It's either this works or I die trying, right? This has just got to work. And I went all in on that one thing. And like I said, within about 36 months, we were doing 100 grand a month in that one specific business. Another mistake I had was not mastering sales soon enough in my life, because I feel like too many people get caught up in all the bullshit nuances, right? If anyone here has tried to start a business or anything like that, what happens is that we get caught up in getting a website and social media started and a brand and a product perfect and all this kind of stuff. And it's like we do all these things that actually don't make us money, and what does make us money is sales. Anytime I'm coaching somebody when it comes to starting their own business, I'm like, listen, I don't care if you don't have an idea yet. Sell something, right? Sell something. Try to, go out there and sell something, because it's like, if you had an idea, it's like listen, I'm going to come up with hypothetically a new shaker cup. I don't know, right? I got my drink here. Well, you come up with a new shaker cup. Before you even do anything, go try to sell it. See what the product wants it, right? Because sometimes the market doesn't want your thing. And too many people get caught up in saying I gotta, do all these, other things like start up a website and all this stuff. It's like, no, just go sell, right? Go sell your freaking product and see if anybody wants it, right? It's speed to dollar. And once you learn how to sell, you could go out and sell anything and you can make a good living, right? Quick side note, I highly recommend just selling, if you're gonna get into sales, sell the freaking most expensive thing you can get your hands on. I sell commercial real estate. It is very expensive stuff. That's why we make great money, right? If you sell one product, quote unquote, you make good money, right? When you're trying to sell shaker cups or something like that, or tchotchke crap, right? You're going to have to sell a heck of a lot of it to make a lot of money. So I try to say, if you're going to get into sales, sell something very expensive. Next, big mistake I made when growing my company, I started recruiting salespeople, and I became a sales manager way too soon. I was the top producing salesperson, and I started recruiting people. And a big mistake I even see other people make in my industry too is that they become a sales manager too soon. Sales managers, I can pay 100 grand a year for, right? Like they're 80 grand a year employees, right? If you want to make 400, 500, 600, $1 million, $1 million a year or something, that's a top performing salesperson role. Sales managers don't make that kind of money, right? Again, sales managers are 60, 80, 100, $120,000 a year, right? So you don't want to become a sales manager, right? So I would rather hire a sales manager to manage the salespeople rather than me be the sales manager. My job in my business is to be the number one salesperson possible. I am the biggest producer in my business. So if I stop selling, my business goes down. You don't want that to ever be the case, right? So you want to focus on you selling. Like my biggest thing even to this day, all I focus on is recruitment and my own production. Period. End of story, right? And obviously with recruitment, train, retain, right? And many other things we could talk about there, but just big thing that I made the mistake of was that I went into the manager position way too soon, and then my business ended up going backwards until I ended up realizing this and how to get back into production. Highly recommend become a top salesperson and then stay in that position, and you can recruit the talent in the meantime.